had the unique experience of over 2/3 of my life, I've been under the tutelage or direction of a coach of some type. For almost 20 years of my life, I played the game of football, and so I do understand the significance and the value that a coach brings. I read a quote, and it was by Rick Warren, and what he said that true leaders create leaders and not just merely followers. And I want you to understand the level of influence that you have, because you have the opportunity to create not only a good teammate, not only a good sportsman, but you can create a leader just by the way that you lead. And so, influence to me is one of the greatest measuring sticks of a good coach. That's what the true value of a leader is measured in their level of influence. And whether you know it or not, you're influencing at all times, because you're in. And so what you have to understand is that they're looking to you. Coaching almost became a second tier of parenting for me, because I was around them, and I like to call it time engagement. There was so much time engagement I spent with coaches that they just became levels of gleaning. I was gaining things from them at all times, whether they knew it or not. And some of the greatest lessons I learned came by way of coaches. So there were things that influenced me positively, and unfortunately there were things that influenced me negatively. I look at it this way. You have an opportunity to affect the culture of the way these young people interact. Whether that culture deals with what type of sportsman they become, how they deal with adversity and challenges, not giving up. All of those things come from some of the lessons that you can give them as a coach. So I'll use it. But I realized that there was just a culture there, a culture of losing. And so it was hard to affect that culture, because it didn't matter if we got up in a game, we didn't know how to finish because we were just used to losing. And then it didn't matter if we were behind, we just accepted the fact that we were going to lose. And it didn't bother us enough that we were losing. And so there was a culture there. And that's what you will encounter with a lot of the young people that you're coaching. They come from all different types of circumstances. And so the culture from which they come from, you're going to have to be that voice or that person that comes in almost as another parenting tool and gives them what they need to go forward and to be successful. Not only on the field, but in life. Your influence goes beyond the field. And so a great coach has the ability to balance both of those things. To not only be a good motivator and to motivate your kids, but also to be a great teacher. And so when you learn how to balance both of those things, then you get the most effectiveness out of your coaching experience. You've heard the whole thing about when a coach is always on your case, or when a coach is always telling you things, and that means he cares about you. Well, if he's not saying anything to you, or if she's not saying anything to you, what does that mean? It means that they probably don't care, or at least that's what the kid takes in. Keep it fun at all times.